In the next 5 to 10 minutes, I will show you how to find thousands of B2B leads in any niche. For example, you see it here like staffing recruiting. For that, I will use Leads.cm. That's a database software and the only database software without credit limits. In normal leads softwares, you pay a base price and then you pay a certain price on how many leads you want to export. And the cool thing about this database is that you literally have just one price. It's $20 per month and you can just export as many leads of your niche as you want without it charging for every export. So let's log in. We can search for leads in 3 databases: LinkedIn database, Instagram database, and the technology lookup. I'll start with Instagram because it's the most known one and the most common one and the most intuitive one. So basically you have very easy filter options. By the way, you have a verification function inbuilt here too. So when you apply some filters, you can verify the mails in-house instead of paying another software for verifying your lead lists. Here you can export, you can clipboard just the page, you can export the page, or you can mass export every lead that is found, but I will show you that later. So you basically have different options. You can filter for keywords. It just filters the whole database, inclusive the descriptions, and everywhere where a word is appearing, you will find this contact. So let's try it out. We filter for the keyword marketing, and I will apply this one. So now every contact that is left, it's in total 270,000 leads spread over this datasets, like 17K in this dataset, and every contact includes the word marketing somewhere, like here, or where is it here, like here, and yeah, pretty simple. So you have a second function here, you can exclude, so you exclude every contact who has this word, and you have this function here that you can hit the check on exact. If you would include, for example, color, but you don't want Colorado, then you can just include exact, and you get contacts where the exact word color appears. I can show you the difference. We found 22K leads. If I would just include not exact, like color, we would have found way more. Makes sense so far. Then you can of course just search for the common Instagram categories like apparel and clothing, and you have just sites with this category you can include and exclude. Followers is pretty self-explaining. Like when you only want big accounts, you do this. When you don't want fake accounts, you're like following span to, I don't know what's normal, to 2000 maybe, could be a normal behavior, and you are excluding accounts that are just following accounts to be refollowed or whatever their strategy is. Okay, you can reset the filters. Here you can hit mandatory checkboxes. For example, if you only want persons with business email, so an email that's not at gmail.com but at website.com, then you can choose this one. And we have 3 million leads left. Or if you want phone, because you're a cold caller, for example, then you can just hit this one and you only get contacts with a phone number. Okay, you can of course search for countries. That's here sorted per phone code, country code, pretty simple. So now we will do a little example. We will search for photographers, apply. We want them to have a little bit followers, like from 1000 up, and maybe we are even not more picky than this. Now, we can just hit this button and the emails are verified. Every contact is out of the table now, like 193 who have old emails. This is weekly updated. And then you can just mass export all the contacts. You can just call it photographers, save this and open this, and you have your nice list of all the photographers you chose. It's a lot. And that's pretty cool that you don't have to worry about that every contact is like charging and costing you money. You can just, for the one price, export as many as you want. So you have less stress there. Okie dokie. Now we go to LinkedIn leads. Here you first choose your country. I will go with, what's a good example? I mean, I could just take United States, but maybe we go with United Kingdom. Okay, so here you have a little bit different options. For example, you have a little technology lookup in here included. Like when you want to look for, I don't know, MailChimp, then you get shown every contact who uses this software. Like when you click on this, here are the technology stacks, which softwares this company uses. You can of course search for locations like Scotland, and we can even search for cities. Like if I only want Edinburgh, I will just type in Edinburgh. Boom. And you have 90,000. But yeah, I will reset that. You also have the mandatory, like you want a website, you want a business mail, you want an industry. Then keywords is the same with exact and include exclude. Industries is the same with include exclude. Company size is a little bit different. You can choose if you want like solo entrepreneurs or small teams, or like global corporations. And you can as well sort by revenue. So if you want like only the biggest companies, you can hit apply on that one and you find your according leads. I remove this. What's a cool option about this database is LinkedIn is more sorted like in companies and employees as well. So you could, for example, search for BNP Paribas in the keywords and then you will find every person who has BNP Paribas their company name. What's interesting here too is like the job titles function. You can search in this column. So if you're looking, for example, for assistants, you can just type in assistant and hit apply, and then you have a list of assistants. You also have the option to search for management levels. For example, oftentimes when you are looking for decision makers, it makes sense to exclude like entry level and intern level, or depending on what you want, like manager level. You hit apply, and then you have the leads left. I reset this. Then you have additionally the option to search for departments like accounting or art and design, business development, finance, like I could search for this one. And then you have only people who work in the finance department. I reset this one. Now we will do an example. Let's look for CFOs. So I will search in job title for CFO, and now we have CFOs of the different companies here. Can look in this, can go through, we see like the company profiles and the person profiles, and yeah, we always have of course the option to go on the websites and look what they're doing, and we have the email here, the LinkedIn profiles, the Facebook profiles of the company, the X profiles. We can delete contacts if we want, we can copy single contacts, you can just play around with this. So now we want to verify our emails. We hit verify. 4 contacts were removed, then we export it, give it a name like CFOs, save it, and of course you can search further for industries or specific company sizes, or if you only want like California, you can do all that stuff. When I go in the file, it looks like this, and you just have all the information here. Okie dokie. Now technology lookup. This is basically like build with, if you know it. Like you can search for websites who use certain technologies. For example, if you are coaching e-commerce store owners or designing websites for e-commerce, it's pretty clear that you want to download the Shopify lead list. You can choose how much of every lead list you want to download, like just a sample list to look what it looks like. And then you can choose between just all websites or only those websites who have phone or email or both. I would go with a clean list. You can click on this one and then it downloads like the multiple files. Sometimes you have to allow in the browser to download multiple files because they have a security check on this. And yeah, you see the files here downloading. Okay, it's finished. I can click on, for example, the Shopify test list. It looks like this. You basically have just websites over websites with emails and where they're from and what's their niche and telephone, all the good stuff. You can just go through it. So for example, if your target audience are like stressed coaches, you maybe like go with Calendly, and then you can just download the Calendly list because it's a tool that many coaches are using. Yeah, I would say that was our little overview about how to get leads fast, easy, and I would say pretty cheap and fair in any niche, and you can verify them in the software, and it's, to be honest, kind of fun. I hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, one important thing, when you create your account, just click on this. You can use the code Kelly10 if you want, and then you get 10% off. I think it's just a no-brainer, and yes, I hope you liked the little tutorial. See you next time.